So today, we're heading to Bali.
After spending an amazing 24 hours in Perth, it's time we make our way up to Bali. We'll be staying for the next week, before Cindy reunites with family in China, and I begin my big Southeast Asia trip.
Okay, so it's been about 3.5 years since I was last in Bali, and that was a solo trip. And I've always wanted to go back with Cindy, so thankfully this time we're making our way up to Bali, and I can't wait. But the only problem is we've just come to the international departures here, tried to find some food. And I think we made the mistake of going through security, and there's actually more options before when you're outside. But looking forward to it. We're flying Jetstar today. I booked this flight through Qantas, using Qantas points, so only really had to pay taxes, which was good. And yeah, it is absolutely dead. Maybe we're the only ones on this flight, that'd be cool. I can fly jump seat, up with the pilots.
After spending an hour or two wandering around and finding something to eat, it was time for boarding, which is on time at 2:10. And unlike my comments earlier, the departure lounge began to fill up, so it looks like we have a full flight up to Bali today.
So Cindy checks the menu. I'm going to review the comfiness of this seat. So obviously, like the Jetstars, they're not overly wide. Legroom certainly isn't that great, but it's only going to be 3 hour, 45-minute flight, which isn't too long at all. I think the longest I've been on a Jetstar was about 5 hours from Adelaide to Denpasar back in November 2019. But I will manage. Listen to some podcasts, bit of music, and we'll survive. How's that menu going?
I found they have some gluten-free options. I just hope they actually have it later.
I was telling Cindy that obviously being a celiac, can't guarantee it. There's not always going to be celiac food on the end.
After everyone had settled in, I noticed the cabin crew was struggling to close the main cabin door. But with some extra oomph, the door was closed and it was time for pushback and takeoff to get our 3 hour, 36-minute flight underway. After takeoff, we had a great view of the Perth metropolitan area, and those on the right side of the plane got the even better view of the CBD and surrounds. From here, we banked to the right and started to make our way up the Western Australia coast, heading north for Bali. Not long after takeoff, cabin crew announced there would be a limit of 1 alcoholic drink per person per hour on the flight today, which is certainly the first time I've heard that. However, not overly surprising, as some holiday goers that venture to Bali certainly enjoy kicking it up a gear before they arrive into Kuta, where I can assure you we will not be going. There is also some reports of turbulence on our way up today, so maybe it's a good idea not to have all those beers splashing about the cabin. So for cabin service, pre-ordered meals that passengers book online are served first, before coming around to take orders from those of us who wish to buy something during the flight. Today, we're both going for a butter chicken and a couple of drinks to go along with them. So it didn't take long for our meals to be heated up and on our tray tables. To be honest, the butter chicken was quite nice, obviously not as flavoursome or spicy as one will get with an authentic curry, but catering to the British, Aussie palate, plain vanilla Jane, it's still not bad. So as mentioned previously, today I booked this as a classic reward seat with Qantas and only had to pay taxes, which is why we didn't fly directly from Adelaide. It was also a good excuse for Cindy to see another city in Perth, and if you haven't seen that video, feel free to go back and check that one out, as we explored Perth all within 24 hours. For the last hour of the flight, we enjoyed a drink and watched the sunset over the Indian Ocean. So overall, it's been a pretty good flight with Jetstar. I've always said anything under 3 to 3.5 hours is fine. When you're pushing 5 hours on these A320s, it can get a bit boring with the lack of in-flight entertainment and you can become quite cramped within the seats. So just make sure you bring your own form of entertainment and you'll be fine. And if you can stand up a few times during the flight, it is manageable. As we are now nearing closer to Denpasar, let's enjoy the sunset and landing as we prepare to kickstart our holiday in Bali, which will be showcased over the next few videos.
So I am recording this the following morning, but I really hope you have enjoyed this video flying up to Bali. If you do like this sort of content, any sort of like videos in relation to flying, travel, etc., please feel free to subscribe. Bing! I'll be making a lot more of this content very shortly. So yeah, currently in Bali, so it means the next videos will be Bali-based videos around travel, etc. We're spending 3 nights in Sanur, where we are right now, and it's so beautiful outside, so I can't wait to share this with you in a video. So I'll see you then, but thank you very much for watching if you've watched it to the end, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.